What's going on, Japsters? This is your boy SYNTELL with the Intel. Today's Intel involves some more Spider-Man news. Warning, there may be spoilers. Some news about a new trailer released from Guillermo del Toro, and Disney breathing some life back into some older properties. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscription button, click the bell icon for up-to-date news breaks, and give us a well-placed thumbs up. Let's get started. So when Jared Leto's upcoming film Morbius released their trailer a while back, there were some rumblings that Sony's other properties can make an appearance within the MCU. Initially, the internet was awash with rumors that the film could take place within the MCU since the trailer showed artwork of Spider-Man with the phrase murderer sprayed over it. Fans took this as a possible reference to Spider-Man Far From Home. The trailer also showed a quick sequence featuring Michael Keaton, possibly as the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. The news only grew when Tyrese Gibson, who plays an FBI agent in the Morbius film, confirmed that the film was indeed in the MCU. Sony later on made an official statement clarifying the supposed gaffe by Gibson. Sony stated that Morbius will be a part of the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters alongside Venom and Kraven, and not in the MCU. In this Morbius instance, Sony quickly made the corrections to everyone's assumptions about the intermingling of superhero properties. However, with the recent revealings regarding Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the studio seems to be sitting back and watching like the rest of us. Sony appears determined to eventually see Tom Holland's Spider-Man cross over into its other Marvel projects, including the eventual clash with Venom. A lot has happened in the past couple of years since Sony ever so briefly pulled Spider-Man from the MCU and decided to only play in their own sandbox. Fortunately for us, the fans, the studios decided to work everything out, and now No Way Home is only a few months away. Yesterday, a Twitter user by the name of @SpidermanBRA shared an image of Tom Hardy, star of Venom, wearing a Spider-Man No Way Home production hat. This hat was a gift given to cast and crew of the Marvel Studios' future blockbuster. A lot can be taken from this picture. It's possible that it was an odd moment of Hardy being caught by surprise for a quick photo. Maybe he's just a fan of the movie. Let's not forget he is wearing a Cobra Kai t-shirt as well. Does this mean that we can expect him to do crane kicks with Daniel-san in the immediate future? Probably not. But then there's the obvious fact that your eyes are not deceiving you. Tom Hardy is wearing another superhero's hat. That's like a girl catching you with lipstick on your collar when you come back from work. It's like waking up in the morning after a great time at the bar the night before, only to find that lovely lady you met making you breakfast while she's wearing your t-shirt. I mean, look at the look on his face. That's the look of a man who's either proud that he's wearing it or is possibly about to explain himself for wearing his childlike glee so freely for everyone to see. I don't think this was something that was done by accident. I think this may be a very good indication that he may be involved with the project, especially given all of the attention the early reactions have spurred about Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene. The Sony Superheroes blockbuster releasing a matter of months apart, it's entirely possible fans will be treated to a Spider-Man-centric crossover tease. Andy Serkis has already said publicly that Spider-Man will meet Venom, and so far there has been zero pushback from Sony. It's extremely unlikely Marvel Studios and its president Kevin Feige will consider letting Sony set up its Spider-Man spin-offs in the MCU. The multiverse offers an avenue for Spidey to pop up in both universes without the Venom or Morbius universe being directly connected. With Sony pulling out all the stops to make No Way Home the biggest Spider-Man movie yet, the studio will struggle to match the film's scale in a potential fourth film, making Tom Holland's next heroic outing a crossover with the Venom franchise, a great way to avoid scaling down too far from all of the multiverse antics. Fans will have to wait until Spider-Man No Way Home hits theaters on December 17th, 2021 to see if Eddie Brock pops up. But before then, Tom Hardy's iconic symbiote will be seen in Venom Let There Be Carnage in theaters on October 1st, 2021. Hey, one of my all-time favorite directors just posted a new trailer. Coming up for Oscars for Best Picture and Best Director with The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro probably could have made anything. What he chose was Nightmare Alley, a noir thriller set at a carnival with the director's most star-studded cast yet. There's Bradley Cooper, William Dafoe, Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara, Toni Collette, Richard Jenkins, Ron Perlman, and others in what Del Toro assures audiences is not a supernatural film, despite the trailer and title strongly suggesting otherwise. He says, and I quote, "This has no supernatural element." Del Toro recently told Vanity Fair it's based completely in a reality world. There's nothing fantastic. It's a very different movie from unusual, but yes, the title and my name would create that impression. Well, of course it's gonna create that impression. Dude, you are like the god when it comes to fantastic storytelling of mythical elements. The man or beast at the center of Nightmare Alley is Cooper's character, Stanton Carlisle. He's a former carnival worker who uses the tricks he's learned there to con millionaires out of their money by pretending he's a mind reader. This does not go over well and gets this shady character into lots of trouble. The movie is based on a 1946 novel by William Lindsay Gresham, which was famously made into another film soon after. in 1947. Del Toro, along with co-writer Kim Morgan, drew from the novel, not the movie, for this adaptation and was less enamored with the full, complex story than the unique noir world it's set in. He says, and I quote, "I wanted to do the universe of the novel, which is a little gritty, but also strangely magical. It has a very strange mystical allure and mythical. I was very attracted to that possibility." Fox is opening Nightmare Alley in theaters only on December 17th, clearly setting it up for another Guillermo del Toro awards run. Will this film noir, with a very supernatural film, even if it's not actually supernatural, do the trick? Well, I know I'd never bet against the guy behind Pacific Rim, Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, and The Devil's Backbone. Yo, my man got hits. Don't doubt him. Alright, so Disney's breathing life back into some old properties. Let's see how the tread on these old tires might look. Flight of the Navigator, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, in 1978, a young boy mysteriously goes missing. In 1986, he reappears having not aged a day. Where did he go? Well, an alien spacecraft zipped him around the galaxy so fast, time didn't change for him. But 8 years passed on Earth. That was the setup for Disney's 1986 film, Flight of the Navigator. And after multiple attempts to bring it back, it's finally got its champion in Bryce Dallas Howard. Howard, the star of the Jurassic World franchise, who also directed multiple episodes of The Mandalorian, will direct and produce a Flight of the Navigator remake for Disney Plus, according to The Hollywood Reporter. This new version will put a girl in the main role, though it's unclear if the story and setup will be exactly the same. The original film, directed by Randall Kleiser, who did Grease, celebrated its 35th anniversary last month. The lead was played by Joey Kramer, and the iconic spaceship was voiced by none other than Paul Rubens. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Disney has been trying to bring back this title for over a decade. In 2009, Jurassic World writers Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly reportedly worked on a script, but it wasn't ready in time and the rights were picked up by Lionsgate. That company then tried to develop its own take from Lucifer, Joe Henderson, but that, again, didn't work out. Now the rights are back at Disney and Howard is on board. Flight of the Navigator is a perfect idea for a remake. Even if you grew up in the 1980s, it's a film you might have missed, so chances are, most kids today probably haven't heard of it. Plus, the idea of a child going missing because he or she has been shooting across the galaxy only to come home confused and scared is simply a slam dunk idea. I think Howard will do a pretty good job. One more blast from the past, The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is going to get his day in the sun on Disney Plus and a new exclusive film titled The Return of the Rocketeer. Yo, I loved The Rocketeer when I was a kid. Deadline reports that Disney will revive the 1991 classic film with the help of producers Jessica and David Oyelowo, the latter of whom may also potentially star in the project as well. Oyelowo is best known for playing Martin Luther King Jr. in 2014's Selma. The Return of the Rocketeer will be a reboot for the hero where he will be a retired Tuskegee airman that ends up becoming the titular hero. Ed Record will write the new Rocketeer movie, having previously written hits like Now You See Me, as well as shows like Netflix Jessica Jones and Raising Dion. The 1991 original Rocketeer was directed by Captain America, the first Avengers helmer, Joe Johnson, and was based on a graphic novel about a young pilot who becomes a masked hero that flies around in a jetpack. Despite the underperformance of the box office, the Rocketeer has built itself a cult following thanks to its old-fashioned storytelling style and classic influences. No wonder Marvel tapped Johnson to direct the first Captain America movie, and similarly old-fashioned superhero story. I'm really excited about this one. The Rocketeer was one of those movies that really didn't get a lot of buzz, but for those of us that did catch it when we were children, it was amazing. Watching him buzz around with the helmet and the cool jetpack, it was some special effects that we hadn't really been privy to, at least on that level, for a relatively unknown film at that time. I can only imagine what they can do with the tools that they have available now. The same thing goes with Flight of the Navigator. Man, this was a super hit. The spaceship itself was something that we had never seen before. All those sleek lines and designs and that chrome look, and of course the voice that goes along with it. I'm really curious as to who they're going to get to do the voice, because that was part of like the main draw, was hearing this extraterrestrial type alien speak so calmly, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. It should be interesting as well to see a young lady picking up a part of the cast. This is definitely one of those roles that can easily be switched out. It'll also be kind of fun if maybe the possibility of them bringing back the original cast member who was the kid, maybe to play the father, him having one of those here we go again type moments. Disney blowing the dust off of some of these old properties and bringing them back with a new coat of paint. I mean, I'm not going to be really upset about that. I just hope it performs well in the box office. Well, I'm officially done breaking your brain. That's the scoop for the day. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure you hit the subscription button and click the bell icon to receive up-to-the-minute updates. There's also a nifty little thumbs up button that you can hit as well. This is your boy SYNTELL with Intel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.